Let's look at this logically. And then you don't have to ask anybody these questions, including me. When you're doing PMO, when you're excessively edging, just do a little introspection. You don't need to keep depending on others to tell you about you. And definitely the medical doctors, okay? You go to them if you get shot in the head and you need to get stabilized. Okay, good, go there. So when it comes to benefits, you just pay attention. Now, if I do that, if I look and see, like when I was doing PMO, my eyes were bloodshot. I didn't have any. There was no vibration. I wasn't full on. My mind was like kind of dull and slow. I had this bipolar emotional state. I'd get angry and mad at you for nothing, and then I would get depressed for nothing. You see, all that because it affected me physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, socially. It affects you like on every level. Just pay attention. Just look and see. That's all. Then, when I stopped doing that, all of a sudden, I started coming into the fullness of myself. What does that mean? That means I felt, you ever watch that movie? Look, I'm not trying to exaggerate things, but sometimes it's good to have illustrations. Limitless. Go see Limitless if you haven't saw that. That's a good movie, period. He takes the pill, and then he, like, everything gets organized inside. He just sees how to fix everything. Oh, man, this is what you do. Okay. Everything's organized, balanced. There's wisdom, everything. So I'm not assigning some magical powers to see. It takes more than that. You're not going to be like that. But it improves everything. They say, Yash, will it help my balding? It will help everything. How will it not help? You have more life force. You have the ojas, which creates and maintains the whole body. So it's going to help everything. And if you lose your semen, it's going to not help everything. Don't trip though. See, some are like, oh man, I went to the toilet and I noticed when I took a piss that there was, I think some semen came out. It's okay. Like, what are you going to do, man? Like don't trip on that. Just be, you're okay. You do the best you can do. Progress, not perfection. Just tattoo that into your mind. You're not going to get this perfect. It's impossible. You don't need to get it perfect. That's the good news. So it's going to help everything. But also, you have to factor in your genetic defaults, you can say. Like, we all have limitations. Physical body, it has limitations. We have strengths, we have weaknesses. Some people have a full head of hair and they can be losing their semen all the time. Others, they're bald and they have a long streak. Because those were like genetic defects you had from the beginning. There's all kinds of this. Some have a bad spine, or some have problems with their eyes. I mean, the list goes on and on. So don't expect it to do some miracle. Instead, check yourself and see, why do I care so much? Like, are you serious? Like, I'm focused on, like, am I going to get all my hair back? Or am I going to, like, is my penis going to grow? Like, all these things, like, who cares, man? You have to find this uncaused joy inside. Even if you had all your hair, you had a 10-inch penis, you had gains. I mean, you won't have gains like this, but okay. If you have all that, you're not going to be happy still. You'll be happy for a second, but still, then the mind is going to bring you back into some lower state. That's its job. That's its job. God made the mind like that. Why? So that we can transcend the mind and realize that this world cannot make us happy. Semen retention is a good tool to get us on that journey. It's like the highest tool. Go see my other channel, Transcending Shadows. The link is in the channel homepage. Just scroll down. I don't know how people keep telling me they can't find it. It's easy. Just scroll down on the channel homepage. Go see that channel, and I list other tools. Diet, company, good environment, do introspection, be a service, spiritual practice. You want to go to next level, go to Spiritual Renaissance. That's my spiritual channel. When you're doing all that, you can't do anything else. And you're going to feel a natural contentment inside, and it just doesn't matter about anything else. It doesn't matter how many zeros you have in your bank, how much female attraction you're getting, if you have hair, if you don't have hair, if you have a funny haircut. People, I don't get this but I just remember one like a year ago. I was letting my hair grow out. They're like, you need to like spike your hair out and be cool or something. I'm like, man, I'm not even thinking about it. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not even thinking about it. I don't know how to think about that stuff anymore. I used to. I was super obsessed with it. I lived in LA in a little apartment, a studio apartment, and I went to the glass shop, and I got a mirror, a piece of glass that was like, I don't know, 20 by 15 feet, and put it up against my wall and check myself all the time. My posture, my hair, my gains, everything. I'd get dizzy. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and go check. I had a girl come over once. She's like, I can't be here. I'm like, why? I can't, the mirror would drive me crazy. I'm like, damn, I need to look at that. I think that's what's happening. So you gotta access this deeper contentment inside you via these higher healthy lifestyle habits that I keep talking about, because that raises the vibration so you can access your true self. Basically, you're doing lower stuff, you can't access your true self. And so then you start when you're in that lower state, you start trying to figure out how to feel better via external things. Pills, drugs, alpha male classes, whatever. That's never going to work, ever. You know what the good thing is about doing that? Is to see that it doesn't work. That's the best part about it. And then then you're free. You're free of having reservations, thinking something out here is going to give you something inside. So that's a process that we all got to go through. I went through it. I'm glad it's done, but it's going to be done for everybody at some point. You just got to bear that, Now here's the main thing, though. Here's the main thing. It's one of the highest benefits. When you're doing PMO, it's like you got this secret all the time, right? Especially if you're in the middle of doing PMO and a girlfriend calls you, or a friend, or your mom, or somebody. You don't want to answer the phone, do you? Why? Because you're like in a dark, demented world and you don't want to show that energy. You might even think they'll know what you're doing, like they can read your mind. That sucks, walking around with that secret. Or going to work, or even there's a lot of people, man, that are like spiritual teachers. They're spiritual teachers, or they're in a mode of service, but they're still doing PMO. That doesn't feel good, because people are like looking to you to impart some wisdom or help them. Meanwhile, you have this secret, in your mind what you're doing. And something doesn't like that. It's a strong compromise inside. It's a deep inner conflict. This is the big thing. When you do semen retention, especially when you stop edging, you're gonna feel clean. You're gonna feel clean. You can look at anybody in the eyes. You're clean. You're not hiding anything. It's like your life's an open book. You can tell somebody about anything, like whatever. Somebody asks you, hey man, you do a little PMO? No, I'm good. I used to. I know what it's like, but no, I'm done. Or do you, whatever. You can answer any question. Doesn't matter. Because you understand that stage and you have compassion for that previous self. Therefore, you have compassion for others. You don't judge them. If you meet people who say like, you make a mistake or something, like, why'd you do that, man? Like, you're stupid. All you got to do, like, just don't do it. Don't do it. That either means that they're still doing it and you're reminding them of how powerless they are, but they don't want to admit it, or they just never experience what it's like to be stuck in something, which I find impossible, because if you're a human being, you're going to be stuck in something. Usually it's the former. They don't want to accept the powerlessness they feel regarding certain habits, and you're reminding them of that when you're like, tell them you messed up again. If that's some teacher or guide, or somebody you're going to for help, or listening to on YouTube, or reading books, if it lacks the compassion, get rid of it. Get rid of the teacher. Now it's different if you got to discern too. Like, is it what do they call it? Love something? Love, tough love. Is it a true tough love? Is there still respect for you and compassion? But they're like, come on, bro, you gotta be stronger than that. That's cool. That's okay. Some need to hear that. A real teacher can discern where somebody's at. If somebody's just totally, at the lowest point in their life, and you start beating them with the hammer, say, man, why are you so stupid? That's not discernment. If somebody knows the person they're working with is higher level, but they kind of just allowed themselves to engage in some lower level habits just because for nothing, then that would be justified, maybe. If the guide or the teacher's like, come on, man, like what's going to happen. You've done this over and over again, and now you did it again, and now you want to share with me how now you don't feel good and everything. You want me to eat your like negative food. I'm like, no, you need to just stop doing it. See? It depends who we're talking to. So, in summary, semen retention benefits everything. I mean, why? You can make a list with 100,000 things if you want, or you can just say it benefits everything. I like simple and easy. Bestest, fastest, easiest. That's my motto. All right, see you.